Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the episode. I am so grateful that you are here. And I just actually re recorded the intro to the podcast, the first time I've redone it since 2022, since it started. Um, and it feels so good. It feels so good to express and transmit as the version of me that I am today. And 4 years ago, when I started this space, I was living in Chicago. I was really firing on all cylinders in my first company, Mindful Music. And I was also starting to really realize like, wow, that was like the first iteration. That is not the end all be all. Like, that is not the highest expression of my divine assignment. And I want to open this episode first with gratitude. Thank you so much for being here, whether you've been listening since 2022 or this is your first episode in this space. Welcome. And it means so much to me that you press play and you drop into the space because your greatest resource is your time and your energy and your attention. So it really means so much that you continue to come to this space and share this space with others so that we can all self-actualize and grow and accelerate with this consciousness of high performance and spiritual mastery, really advancing the agenda of love on our planet. And I also want to give you radical permission to be who you are now. Like the whole point of life is for us to grow and change. Like I if you're listening to this episode, I know you're obsessed with growth. You are constantly outgrowing yourself. Of course, you're going to outgrow people, situations, jobs, labels, physical locations. And so I was like, I really don't resonate. Like I resonate with the pure message of the old introduction to the podcast, and I'm not that person. In the past 4 years, I've changed more than I have in my entire life, and that's what the trajectory is if you are really in this game of growth, and that's what we do in this work in my ecosystem, my training room, this movement, New Earth Elite, is just like accelerated, elevated, relentless, audacious, hurling yourself toward growth. And growth is not linear. Growth includes healing, knowledge, and skill. However, it's a radical act to keep outgrowing yourself and allowing yourself to be seen and expressed fully and not you are never ever obligated to be who you were even when you pressed play at the beginning of this podcast. So just that is the first message right out of the gate is thank you for being here and like you have full permission to radically relentlessly change. Like since I recorded that intro in 2022, I left Chicago, closed that business, moved to Maui for a year, had a really deep spiritual activation there, and also got kicked in the face by life. I moved to Michigan for a little bit to reset with family. Then I've been traveling full time ever since and stepping forward into New Earth Elite. And it's like, are you allowing the true iteration of yourself today to be fully expressed? Or are you hiding behind a previous identity? Are you hiding behind a previous label? Are you riding your own coattails of success and calling it innovation when deep down you know in your soul and your spirit that you're just regurgitating a past version of yourself because you actually have something to lose now. You're not that founder who just started out where you're just like, I have nothing to lose. You actually do have something to lose right now. But what's the biggest loss? Dying with dreams inside you. Dying never self-actualizing. Dying not building your dreams, building your empire, building your mission, building your imprint on humanity of love and the positive ripple. So this is just I'm just in full Oracle transition transmission mode, and the way that the energy is accelerating at the time of this recording, this is in August of 2026. We're at the beginning of eclipse season. Um, if you want to go deeper into this work with me, by the way, there are two ways that you can do so. First, you can book a consult call with me. This is where we sit down. You ask me any question on your heart. We can go deep into your astrology, how things are impacting you, how to leverage it. I can advise you on different pathways you can take with me inside New Earth Elite in mentorship in the training room. And it really is an opportunity for you to get a taste of what it's like. It's a very high voltage, high performance coaching space. That is the one-on-one consult, no application, you just book. So, if you're interested in this and you know you want to go deeper with me, book a consult. I can't wait to serve you. I can't wait to drop in with you. The other way that you can work with me is in one-on-one Lux mentorship. This is my bespoke concierge space designed for you in the training room that is New Earth Elite. Health, wealth, happiness, and freedom, the trifecta of transformation, healing, knowledge, and skill. This is where we create what I'm going to talk about in today's episode, which is this irreversible alchemy. So if you know you want to go deep in this work with me, if you get life trajectory shifts just from what I share on the podcast, imagine you and me in a room together one-on-one long term. So there's VIP days, there are I basically create something curated for you based on what you desire, your path right now, all of the things. So if you know this is for you, this is for successful founders, visionaries, and mavericks. Okay. If this is you, if you feel called to go deeper, the link to both the application for one-on-one Lux and the booking for a consult are in the show notes, also at my website, adrianschroeder.com. And if you don't know what you want to do, if you don't know what's correct for you, just book a consult. We'll go from there. I got you. Okay. Today's today's episode, there's just, there's a really, it's so the title of this came through my channel, and I've really been working with Christ consciousness a lot lately, like the amount of energy coming down right now that we are here to actually birth into reality on our planet. This is why high performance matters. This is why I have an allergy to floaty mystics, ungrounded spirituality, people that talk about love but never build shit. Like, there are nervous system reasons why that happens. There are past life reasons why that happens. And in this work, we are the sacred interruption to that, where it's like, no more of that. If there is this amount of light codes coming down, this amount of energy, this amount of love, this amount of abundance, this amount of Christ consciousness was just truly um bringing heaven on earth frequency into reality. I'm not talking about metaphorical spirituality. I'm not talking about like, oh, like this, I have a vision. It's like, yeah, we have the vision, but we're actually making it real. It's the high performance mastery in building shit that's real, that sustains, that is truly architecting a better world. The whole title of this podcast. Um the title of this episode is From Optional Destiny to Irreversible Alchemy. And this is a point that there's a very bizarre prayer I have for you. I have for every single soul on this planet. And it's a very extreme, like I said, bizarre prayer that I have specifically for you because you're not like other people. You've already done what most people will never do. You've already largely unhooked from the matrix. You're not someone who says things and never does them. Like, you're already quote unquote ahead of the masses, right? Like you don't believe in mediocrity, you don't allow mediocrity to access you. You know you're here for greatness, you know you're here to channel love. I have a bizarre prayer for you. And the prayer I have for you is that you get to a point where you can physically no longer reject your soul's call. It's a very specific prayer. My prayer for you is that you get to a point where you physically can no longer wear the mask, where you physically can no longer don the facade of what's not correct for you, what's not aligned with love, what's not aligned with true abundance and prosperity and wealth and overflow from the Creator for you and every single life you touch. It is my deepest prayer that you get to a tipping point where you can physically no longer live the small life because you've crossed the threshold. You went through a tipping point. So I personally just went through another tipping point like this, and I didn't know there was another one for me, honestly. I think there will be more at different points in the journey. However, the energy is changing so quickly right now. I mean, you feel it and you see it with AI. And what's happening with AI, first of all, you know, people who are scared of robots are only scared because they have robot consciousness. They have become robots. Because people who never allowed themselves to be robots, who are free agents, who are thinking for themselves, who are in command of their heart, their brain, their nervous system, you're not scared of robots because you're in command of your field, right? You might have heightened vigilance about what the collective's going to do about the masses. However, like you're not it's when you go deep into this frequency of spiritual mastery and the unseen combined with high performance with me, there are certain conversations that are no longer relevant. Take politics, for example. Like, it's all a distraction from your soul's destiny. Right, left, that shit don't matter. We're channeling creator consciousness. We're channeling love on our planet. All of this is just mediocre shit. That's a distraction, right? A distraction from taking action, from looking within. So, I personally went through something where I've been doing really, really deep work with my womb and my feminine frequency and really just like claiming like my oracle embodiment of like, yes, I'm an oracle. Yes, I'm psychic. Yes, I'm a magician. Yes, I'm a shaman. I am white star. And I have insane spiritual skill sets that I use with precision to leverage and manifest at will with the creator in alignment with the creator's plan, right? And I do this through everything I teach on this podcast and more, and specifically my invented modality, the cosmic cellular breathwork, the holotropic shamanic breathwork, aligned with people's blueprints, aligned with the energy that's going on in the planet. Anybody who's not using their body as a portal and who's not using astrology from a free will empowerment lens is literally leaving income and impact on the table and deciding to rely only on the human faculties, which are extremely limited. So we're entering a time where those of us who are called to really steward and self actualize as pioneers of this consciousness, as truly birthing a better world. This is not conjecture. This is not hypothetical. We are the midwives. We will not see Age of Aquarius in our lifetime. We are the midwives. We are here for the bloody birth. Yo, that shit bloody. We got contractions out here. And we're about to meet the baby. What's the baby, by the way? A world we're proud of. A better world, New Earth. New Earth is just reharmonizing and bringing heaven on earth frequency to our real reality on planet Earth. Like I said, this is not a metaphor. We are actually doing this. So I know I wanted to teach on this because I went through something really, really deep in July of 2026, just really doing a lot of deep work with my womb. And even just I posted an episode before about like temple history and the war within yourself. And it's like, yes, you come to me to come to the temple. Like you hire me, you work with me, everything we do in New Earth Elite, you're coming to the temple to train with me. It's like the mystery schools meet high performance, meet the oracle. Like there is nothing like it. It's category of one because this is what I see that the world needs that does not exist. So I'm making it. And a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people demonize it. And I don't care. This is my mission, right? Anybody doing anything epic, you will be demonized. You will be hated by the masses. You will be misunderstood. Okay? Look at Jesus. I literally complimented someone on their Taylor Swift Eras Tour t-shirt. I was like in line at Pura Vida and I saw this person's Taylor Swift shirt and I was like, "Oh my God, I love your shirt." And they looked at me and they were like, "You know, a lot of people hate her, but I love her." And I just said, "Every person doing something epic is hated." Like for real. And we just both started laughing because it's so true. And anytime you're making art, which my first career, like I've been really bringing back with this like womb activation. When I say that WOMB, it's me really owning my sacred geometry as a powerful feminine force. And I don't care what you resonate with. If you are not really owning and claiming your sacred geometry that you incarnated in this lifetime, this is not about gender, this is about energy. Um, like really owning like your divine masculine king. Like I'm here to protect, I'm here to build, I'm here to channel, I'm here to collapse time. Or your feminine, which is like I'm here to multiply. I'm here to hold space. I'm here for healing. I'm here as the psychic oracle, the seer, the knower, like the vessel, right? Masculine, you're channeling light. Feminine, you are the vessel for the light, right? It's Kabbalah. That's something I bring into all of my coaching and something that's been deeply impactful for me. And so, all of this to say is, I went through a deep turning point doing so much work in my womb and really bringing forth singing and song and music into the equation in everything I'm doing with my clients and my own personal alchemy process. And it got to a point where I was like, oh my God, I've crossed a tipping point where I literally, like, I physically can never go back to the way I used to do things because I created irreversible alchemy. And what I see, so my bizarre prayer is that you get to the point too where you physically can no longer do things out of alignment with your path, out of alignment with your geometry, out of alignment with the truth of abundance consciousness, love, freedom. It's my prayer for you that you physically can no longer participate in the bullshit of the matrix. Like, it's even my prayer for you that you get physically sick or get symptoms if you're not meant to be a part of that, that it wakes you up in such a way that you click into your destiny. I've gotten to a point, and many and all of my clients get to this point where it's like you get one smidge out of alignment, you're getting symptoms, you're getting smacked in the face with something because when you have a really big energy and you are extremely dialed in your channel and your nervous system and the field of your body to manifest, and you are here for big shit, you will get you will get shown when you're out of alignment, like really quickly, really immediately, especially the way the energy is moving now. So there's a point, what is destiny? Destiny is a promise you made to yourself. of what you would do in this lifetime, what you would achieve in this lifetime. Destiny is the thing you're going to sit down with creator, your maker, God source, the universe, the cosmos, whatever it is, the force of life, the unseen. It's the person it's whatever you're going to sit down with when you die and you go through your life review and you're either proud, like, hey, I did what I said, I did my destiny, or you have extreme regret. And if you want to learn more about my perspective on that, I had an NDE, I had a life review with extreme regret. I got the chance to come back. There's more, I have podcasts about my NDE. I'm not going to go into it today. However, like what most people live their whole life, even if you're a high performer, you're still, especially if you are a high performer that only exists in the space of the mind and you're relying on your own control issues. If you're a high performer, we got control issues. You want to know why? Because like most of us, we can create a lot of insane success that most people will never touch through our just will, through precision of our brain, all of these things. And I'm going to tell you, if you're only playing the games of the mind, you are constantly in a state of optional destiny. You're constantly in a choice point of like, I could achieve my destiny or I could not. I could achieve my destiny or I could not because you're in the mind, you're in the mind, you're in the mind. And the mind controls literally 5% of your life. So if you want guaranteed never self-actualizing in this lifetime, stay in the mind space. Do thought work, stay in talk therapy. And the thing is, like, talk therapy helped me for a while, just like have a safe space to talk and express my emotions. However, a lot of it was the thing about talk therapy is that it's where you understand a pattern, it's not where you break a pattern. And so what did I do? I went every single week and I just looped and looped and looped and looped and looped and looped in the surface of my mind, which I now looking back, I was literally just manifesting the past over and over and over because I was speaking it into existence and there was no actual pattern interrupt. So the way that you shift from optional destiny to irreversible alchemy is you get out of the mind space and you get into the body, you get into the DNA, you get into the cells, and you go toe to toe with your patterns. You shatter those patterns, you alchemize them, you become your own healer, you become your own best friend. And it's this intimacy and these tiny moments that you only see, that no one else sees, that's between you and creator. And it's a moment like this. It's a moment where maybe you said, oh, I'm only gonna eat I'm not gonna eat those cookies because they make me feel like shit. And then you eat it anyways. In that moment, you broke your connection with the creator and you disrespected yourself. You did self-harm. And you're like, oh what? It's just a cookie, it's just a cookie. All of that stuff adds up to the person you are, the person you're becoming. And then you wonder why in a business meeting 2 days later you don't trust your intuition because you literally are breaking your own inner integrity. And so that's just one example and it's not about the cookie, right? There are times when eating the cookie is the most spiritual aligned thing ever and there are times when it's self-harm. Like it's not about the cookie per se. Although I could argue that just from basic biology, that it's really going to block literally everyone's third eye, depending on the cookie and the ingredients. Spoiler alert, if you're eating sugar, especially in the West, you automatically have blocked your third eye. You automatically have turned off your psychic abilities. Um, Irreversible alchemy happens when you go so deep into your nervous system and the portal of your body and transmuting patterns that it's irreversible alchemy. Like you cannot go back. You reach a tipping point. I reach it again and again. My clients reach it. Why? Because it controls the 95% of your life. And it doesn't happen from going to a yoga class. It happened like I've never seen anything as powerful as holotropic breath work for this. And I've done a lot of shit. I've done a lot of shit in my life. Um, there's a point of no return. So, and what is alchemy? It's where you literally transmute things to gold. It's where you take every painful moment you've ever had, every moment of pleasure. It's where every single thing in your body, you're spinning it to gold. You're spinning it to gold. You're spinning it to gold. And what I want you to understand is that this is not a one and done. It's not like, oh, if you're an Olympic level athlete, you're like, okay, I did my workout. I'm done. Where's my gold medal? It's like, no, Olympians, they're in the training room. They're in the training room. Their nutrition's different, their workouts different. They are elite, they are consistent. They're not doing things that the masses do. You've got to treat yourself as an Olympic level athlete. That's what we're doing in New Earth Elite, and it's about this irreversible alchemy. Because here's the thing, like I could do a breathwork journey that's addressing something from, I don't know, a year ago, right? However, if I'm not addressing like all of the insane voltage that's hitting the planet right here, right now, especially with AI, that's going to calcify inside your heart field later and control your decisions later. And then you don't even realize you're making decisions from fear, which is when you're in the optional destiny of the mind, which your mind can lie to you all day. You can get hoodwinked by the mind. The mind is incredibly powerful. Your body, when alchemized, when in command, when trauma is metabolized, and I use trauma, big T, little t, trauma's trauma. Something I see a lot is like people have shame about their like, well, is this even valid because other people have gone through more than me? To be honest, the subtle little t trauma is way more incessant and destroying love on our planet than big T trauma. Because big T trauma is like, oh shit, that's very clear. You got to get some support with that. The little T trauma is like, what I see specifically is just men who who shove things under the rug for decades and decades and decades and decades, and then it eats away at your soul. Irreversible alchemy, you're spinning things to gold. So that's this point of no return. And something I feel called to share is that healing is not training. Training is not healing. They're very different things. That's why the work we do in New Earth Elite and what will actually make a better world. Because here's the thing, if healing was the solution, we would already be living in utopia. People have been focusing on healing for years and years and years and years. And I'm going to bring an MLK quote through. Those who love peace must learn to organize just as effectively as those who love war. This addiction to healing as the end all be all is cock blocking creators' plan for a better world and your important part in it. So it's healing. Yes, it's that deep alchemical healing, and there's a softness, and there's a love, and there's a reverence, and there's an intimacy here. And then on top of that bedrock of healing, we get to work, boo. We get to work in the training room. It's about knowledge and skill. There are skill sets that you have yet to master that are required of you that you don't even know are required of you because you haven't gotten to this point of irreversible alchemy yet. And when this all works together as an ecosystem, that's when you really pop off for love, for your dreams, for generational wealth, for your family, for birthing solutions on our planet, for really the tipping point of our planet. Because right now, if we look at the planet as a collective, it is in a space of optional destiny. Like there's two paths very obvious right now. We're either going to go down the path that we like as a collective. I'm talking about the collective, which is a very Aquarius theme. Aquarius rules the collective. It also rules innovation and the mind space. It's fixed air. It's very connected to breath work. It's invention. AI is Aquarius energy. So what the collective is in a space of optional destiny. Are we going to have a fall of civilization, or are we going to rise and create heaven on earth frequency? Like not just frequency, like reality, from frequency to reality. That's what we do here. Um, so it's got to be this there you and me and leaders, we are extremely outnumbered, right? This is a top-down tipping of the scales situation, and it has to tip within you first. If you want to tip the scales on the planet to irreversible alchemy, what does that mean? We get to a tipping point where the alchemy and the transformation of our planet to a better world is just like there's so much momentum toward it, it cannot be stopped, right? Like we physically cannot because we've crossed that threshold, we've crossed that tipping point. You will never be channeling that for the world if you first haven't done it within yourself. And what I see a lot of people is that if you're still in the mindset space, you're still in optional destiny land. You've got to get to irreversible alchemy. Irreversible alchemy doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in one session. It comes through relentless, audacious willingness to really be in the training room of healing knowledge and skill consistently. There was an episode I created. I channeled this after the first time I ever sat with ayahuasca in 2025, which was insanely powerful. And I never recommend people sit with plant medicine, to be honest. Most people I say don't do it, especially because there's so many charlatans and honestly like abusive spaces of deep parasitic energy that are just not clean. They're not good. It's just you've got to be highly, highly discerning, especially as it's becoming like quote unquote mainstream. Um, I had a really powerful positive experience. I think only because I've been doing daily breath work, which is opening Pandora's box and the nervous system and the unseen realm and like all of that on my own terms almost every single day for 6 years plus at this point. I channeled an episode on the podcast. It's called Two Paths, One Choice. And it's like in every single moment you are choosing. And it was born out of I was in this plant medicine journey and the grandmother, which is, that's people speak to ayahuasca like that. The grandmother, she said, "Are you going to choose lies or the light?" She's like, it's like every single moment I was just saying, like, every single moment is a choice point. Are you going to choose lies? Or are you going to choose the light? Are you going to choose fear? Or are you going to choose the love? And what she specifically said is, are you going to choose magic? Or are you going to choose Satan? And Satan is just the Kabbalistic word for darkness, the opponent. It's the force that really does hoodwink us into choosing fear and instant gratification. And it's a flash of light and then it's over, right? It's the worst feeling. And what I call after that is spiritual sadness of where you self-abandon, right? And you didn't choose the light and you chose instant gratification and it flashes and then it's gone. It's the same as like the high I would get from doing cocaine in my 20s or the decade of me struggling with alcoholism or you know having sex with a boy who treated me like shit in my 20s. Like all of that is the same iteration of this horrible spiritual sadness that happens. Um, anyways, there's a new iteration of this two paths, one choice where it is, are you an optional destiny or have you created irreversible alchemy? Have you gotten to the point where you physically can no longer do it the old way? I want you to get to that point because then your biology takes over, then the field of your body takes over, then you literally are a magnet to manifest because your aura, you have trained and coated and cleansed and purified and dialed your aura, where it is irreversible alchemy, you cannot go back because you've changed your DNA. So, this is today's episode. I it is my deepest intention that it served you. It's my deepest intention that it activated some kind of question, alteration, up level within you. If you feel called to go deeper into this work, you know what to do. The links are in the show notes. And such a time as this, like we incarnated at this time because we have important missions on this planet. We have important assignments. This is not, you don't just have a business. You are channeling your medicine for the world through your business. Not all of my clients have businesses. However, what I want to share with you, a key ingredient of new earth and a better world is entrepreneurship. No more, or you're either birthing your own or you're working for an insane maverick entrepreneur. No more of this, it's the permanent unhooking of the old way. And there's also going to be two parallel realities going on. There is going to be the reality of the fall of civilization that people play out through the level of their consciousness. And we are in the parallel reality of birthing heaven on earth frequency. And if you do not have command of your nervous system and you don't know how to enter flow state unconditionally in any circumstance, you will shatter. You will shatter in this energy. So it's time to get in the training room. It's time to really decide, are you going to be in the space of optional destiny through your brain, or are you in irreversible alchemy? And this is like, I'm talking about alchemy in every single part of your life. Like, you're supposed to have it all. It's not about, oh, I have the dream relationship, so I can only have a certain amount of wealth. No, you get to have the dream partnership. You get to have the dream friendships. You get to share love through your mission. You get wild, relentless, unending abundance. Like, you get to have it all. You are not here to settle. Settling always leads to suffering. And optional destiny is fancy settling for high performers. And no one will know because you already are so far ahead of what most people do. That's why my coaching and training and mentorship and healing is so powerful because you can't hide from me. I can see right through it. I'm a projector in human design, okay? I am just calling you forward into your highest iteration ever. And yes, you are invited if you want to go deeper into this work. Links in the show notes. Go to my website. Please take this to heart. Share this with someone in your world who is on this radical ascension path. And I love you. It's time for irreversible alchemy. And my prayer for you is that you get to a space and you don't get there by pain. You get there through direct choice of your free will, of irreversible alchemy, where you physically can no longer be in a space of optional destiny. Because remember, destiny is a promise you made yourself. So are you fulfilling on that promise through irreversible alchemy? Or are you going to, coast and half-ass it and maybe it? Nope. There's no such thing. Hmm. Go out there, be the change, be the you, be the real light in this world, be the reason people believe again, go make a stranger smile. And I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrienne.